Hello everybody and welcome to my Saucony Endorphin Speed 4 non-technical review. Must stress that it's non-technical. I'm not going to get into all the technical bits and stuff. Not interested. I just want to know how they perform. That's what I'm going to tell you about. Right, you might be thinking, why the hell am I coming out with an Endorphin Speed 4 review when everybody's coming out with Speed 5 reviews? Because I believe they have now been released, the next version. So yeah, I am late with this, but I haven't had them very long. Bought them quite recently. And do I look like I'm a happy man at the moment? Do I look like I'm about to praise these? You can probably see from my thumbnail that I'm not. I'm going to get into it shortly. The issue that I'm having with these. Let me give you a little bit of background information. So I was not planning on buying these. I didn't even know I could buy these. I'll explain why. So I live in Kyrgyzstan in Central Asia. We had it was a 10k race a few months ago, and when I went to pick up my starter kit, my starter pack, there were some stalls there from different companies selling various stuff, mainly like sports related stuff, trainer, running shoes, and there was one stall there from representing a shop in the city, and it had a Saucony 30% discount voucher. Now I couldn't believe it. It wasn't the fact they were handing out 30% discount vouchers. It was the fact you could actually buy Saucony in Kyrgyzstan, because I hadn't found Saucony here. I'd even been to that very shop a few months earlier when there was a big sale on, and they didn't sell Saucony at that time. So anyway, I took the voucher, went along to the shop, and yeah, they did have Saucony. I spoke to the guy selling them. He said, yeah, they've only recently started to sell Saucony, which is why they were not there when I went there a few months prior to that. Didn't have a big range of Saucony shoes. This was the one that I had my eye on. It's the fastest shoe they had of Saucony in there. So I suppose, got a bit overexcited, bought these, basically thinking that I'd bought the Pro version. I think they're called, the specific race day shoe. And I was left disappointed when I got home and looked it all up and realised, oh, these are just the they are the equivalent or rival to the Puma Deviate Nitro 2. So it's a training shoe, right, for fast runs. It's what it's supposedly for. So I had been using my Puma Deviate Nitro 2 as a training shoe for fast runs and a race day shoe as well. So basically what I have been using these for are race day shoes. So I know they're not technically supposed to be race day shoes. They are training shoes, as I just mentioned, but I, at the moment, use them solely for race days. And the idea is, once I retire these, they've done 600 kilometers now, I will then use these as my training shoe, and also possibly my race day shoe if I don't buy a dedicated race day shoe, which I would like to do. So I've been very, very, very disappointed with these, okay? And I'm going to explain why. People compare them with the Deviate Nitro 2 and say, they're both really good shoes. But I disagree. The Deviate Nitro 2 are amazing. I love these shoes so much. So these are just a real disappointment. I think the first thing that really annoys me with these, it's the toe box, right? You should be able to see it there. There's a huge difference. The Deviate Nitro 2, the toe box is absolutely fine, but it's so narrow. And I compared all my other running shoes as well. They're all normal like the Deviate Nitro 2. These are the only ones that are just so narrow. And I don't know. I don't think my feet are particularly wide, as far as I'm aware. I'm not sure. I think it's just normal. But these cause problems to my toes. I get sort of blisters under my toes because of how narrow they are in the toe area. That's the first issue I've got with them. Now, I've worn these 4 times, right? I think I've got like, I don't know, over 50 kilometers in them now. Like I say, it's all been for races. So yeah, I've used them for 4 races. I'm going to go through each race and tell you kind of how I felt, how I kind of felt. So the first time I wore these was race day. I know it's a big no-no, right? You don't wear shoes for the first time on race day. You need to get into them, wear them in a little bit so that they get used to your feet. I knew that, but I wanted to take a chance. I was so excited when I got these. I really wanted to just put them on and use them for race day. So I kind of like let them, what's the word? If they didn't deliver, I would blame myself. And that's what I did. They didn't deliver, but I put the blame on myself. You know, I should have worn them beforehand before going straight into a race with them. They felt uncomfortable during the run. Just didn't feel right. Didn't feel very good. I didn't do particularly well in that race. I came in I don't know, in about 49 minutes. It's 10k, 49 minutes, 30 odd seconds. At least it was under 50 minutes. But yeah, I was hoping to do better. But yeah, like I say, I blame myself for that. Fine. Second time I wore them was for a half marathon. No, it wasn't. It was another 10k. Sorry, it's for 10k, but with very high elevation. Like starting elevation was high. I mean, like 1,600 meters. And it was hilly as well. It was up and down. So I accepted that I wasn't going to get like a PB in that run, just because of the lack of oxygen at that height, at that elevation. They were actually I actually ran okay in that race. To be fair, I thought I felt okay. I felt better. My time, I think, was 49 minutes 21 seconds, so about 15 seconds faster than my previous 10k when these made their debut. They felt okay, nothing special, but didn't really cause me any issues from what I remember, apart from obviously the toe box area, which I feel maybe not so much at the time of running. It's more an issue after I finish my run and I start to feel pain and get blisters, like I said, at the bottom of my toes. Third time I wore these was for a half marathon. I'd only ever done 1 half marathon before, so I was looking for a PB. I got the PB. I ran exactly as I planned in terms of my timings. Disappointingly, I didn't have I was trying to push on. I wanted to push on for like the last few kilometers. I just couldn't do it. I can't really blame the shoe. I mean, it's more on me. But when I was running in these, in the half marathon, they felt okay, I guess. From what I remember, I find it difficult to like think too much about the shoe when I'm running in a race. I mean, like if it's a training run, I can sort of think about it a bit more. You know, how do I feel in these? But when I'm in the middle of a race, I'm thinking about, I don't know, the people in front of me and trying to. It's difficult for me to really concentrate on how the shoe is performing, I guess. But at least I've got a PB, half marathon PB in these, I suppose. And then the last run was a 10k. I got my second fastest time in the 10k wearing these, 49 minutes and 1 second. But a long way off my PB of last year, which was 47 minutes, 30 odd seconds. So I can't get anywhere near that time. And again, I don't know, they were okay. And I think that's basically it. They're okay. But when I wear the Deviate Nitro 2s, they feel amazing. I love the feel of these. I really do feel like they help me to run faster. These are supposed to have some kind of speed roll technology in here. I don't feel it. I'm not saying it doesn't have it, but when I run, I don't feel like it's like propelling me along at all or anything like that. I mean, in terms of positives, they're light. I feel they're quite light, which I quite like. They're relatively comfortable apart from the toe area. I just don't feel like I get anything from them though. Like any kind of boost, any kind of benefit from them. I really don't. Another thing that's annoyed me, right? You can see that's coming off there. Still, you can still make it out. It's not completely rubbed off. But it's the exact same thing was on these, right? Where it says, whatever it says, Endorphin Speed Roll or something. And I'm not joking, after that, the first time I wore them, which was at 10k, after I took these off, it already completely gone. Like, I don't actually need the writing there. It doesn't make any difference to me or to anybody, but it just sort of shows how cheap they are, that after one run, a 10k run, all the print had just disappeared completely. Material is a bit funky on these. I've never had anything like these before. I kind of quite like it, I guess. This material, it feels like that, is it polystyrene stuff? When you know, like, when you can like break it. Polystyrene, is that right? Well, I think it's nylon, isn't it? But it just feels like it can break easily. I'm always a little bit worried when I clean these. I'm worried it feels weird to clean them with a cloth, unlike with sort of usual kind of shoes. But yeah, it's weird. But like I say, I kind of like it. It's quite unusual and funky. You've got the nylon plates there as well. But I don't like these. I just don't like them. I just don't get on with them. It's just one of those things. But just because I don't get on with them doesn't mean, you know, other people, you or whoever, are going to, you know, dislike them as well. It's just a preference thing, and I don't know, just don't seem to really work for me. And they're still in their early days, so things could change, but I don't have high hopes. Yeah, these are my second pair of Sauconys. I also had Saucony Omni 21s, I think they were, a few years ago. That was when I thought I needed a support shoe. Turns out I didn't. I didn't get on with those shoes either. I rolled my ankle a few times in those Saucony Omnis. So I'm not having much joy with Saucony. Maybe it's just not the brand for me. Really like Puma. So yeah, I don't think I'll be buying Saucony again anytime soon. I'm trying to think, is there anything else that I've missed out here? Not sure really. I think that's pretty much it. I think for me, it's just the feel of them. I don't know. Like I say, very narrow on the toes, and when I run in them, I don't enjoy running in them. They're not overly comfortable. I don't feel like they, like I said, help me with speed too much. Apart from the fact they're light. So yeah, I guess I regret buying them, but that's easy to say in hindsight, isn't it? How was I to know that they weren't going to work out for me? Should have just kept going with the Deviate Nitro 2s. Anyway, it is what it is. So this is my review of the Saucony Endorphin Speed 4. I do not recommend them. Maybe that's not the right word. I can't really say that. What I would say is they don't work for me. I don't want to say that I can't recommend them, because for other people they might be absolutely wonderful. But for me, they're crap. Thank you. Goodbye.